So I do work 2 jobs. Family restaurants, Moscow Negros. Been around for 20 years.
For you, you took a 3-year break. What was that decision?
I'm very passionate about the business after that 3-year break.
What has changed since now and back then?
I think the biggest thing that changed was shaping my parents' mindset from what they only know. Like I told my parents, my vision is how can we be different from other restaurants to how can we get the name out there? And I think it comes down to you have to pick and choose how you want to invest.
If you don't have like something stable to hold it, people are gonna be like, "What are you even talking about?" So I think the stable to your branding is your parents' story. Today we have Ali from Hmong Golden Egg Rolls to talk about brand messaging, her story. So let's dive in to get to know Ali a little bit here. Ali, could you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Allie. From Lacrosse, Wisconsin. I'm also a dental assistant, so I do work 2 jobs, and then family restaurants, Moscow Negros. Been around for 20 years.
Wow,
Yeah.
20
Yeah,
years. How
20
did
years.
that, how did you guys start? Because I know that you said that it was family owned, your parents
hmm
started it, and then you are now overseeing it, or how did that story journey happen?
It started. So it's funny because it actually started from my mom's and her sister and her brothers. So we started out just selling egg rolls. So they
Mm,
used to rent a commercial kitchen like about 10 years, 20 years
mhm,
ago. And then that's how they started into rolling egg rolls and selling into market stores. And then I want to say probably 2000 is when they decided, like, why don't we try opening a restaurant? I think by then I was only 12 years old when it all
wow,
started. Yeah.
4 years old.
So
Okay.
we've been in, so we were the first Hmong restaurant in Lacrosse. So that was kind of cool. So it was kind of nice to open the doors to the community in Lacrosse. And then, so now that we moved to a new location, I decided that I took a 3-year break. So
Mhm.
then I came back and said, I think I'm at this time in my life where I want to oversee the restaurant, but it's not official yet. But have been trying to strategic a lot of things for the
Mm.
business. So
When you say you took a 3-year break, what was the break from?
it was a break from my cousin. They wanted to lease it, so then we took a
Oh,
3-year
okay.
break. So that was it was kind of nice to have a 3-year break, and then just kind of really focus on myself and what I wanted to do. I think at
Mhm,
that time I wasn't ready because when you start so young, you're just like, oh, I just want to do so much for myself first before
mhm,
taking over a family business. And it is a lot to ask
mhm.
from your parents to when we first, yeah.
Yeah. I wanna touch on this subject a little bit more because I think
hmm
it's important because we don't wake up one day saying we want to be business owners,
Yeah.
right? And I agree because we want to do our own things. We have our own lives, friends. Maybe we want to go out, we want to travel. But then for you,
hmm
you take a 3-year break. What was that decision that was like, you know what, I am ready, or
hmm
maybe never, not 100% ready, but I'm ready enough
hmm
to help oversee? Like, what was that mindset and what helped change it?
I think my team before I left, I think I took a lot of them just letting me know how much they missed having me there, how much
Mm,
they miss having us being there at the restaurant, just helping them out. I think it's just like a word of mouth and knowing that how much they still support me, regardless that I wasn't a part of the business
mhm,
for that 3 year. And I think I was coming to terms with my career life as a dental assistant too.
mhm,
So then it's just one of those eye opening where I'm like, you know what? I think that just kind of made my decision where do I want to be a dental assistant for the rest of my life or
mhm.
do I want to do something else? And I find myself that I'm very passionate about the business after that 3-year break. I
Yeah.
feel like it's just an eye opening to allow me to breathe and be like, oh, I don't have to be there as much as I used to, and then
Mhm,
kind of really see how much it has grown too. And I think at that time, my parents were also in the process of trying to see if they want to sell the business too.
mm,
And then that kind of made me thought back and say, it's hard to let go at the same time of the uncertainty. I think one, we spent so many years building from the ground up and passing through those 3 year where they say statistically it can take up 3 years to know if your business will survive or not.
Exactly.
So I think that kind of held me back where like we worked so hard. We did our hardest thing. We built such a strong team for the front of the house. We, at that time, we had about, I want to say 10 servers too. And then we were a full staff in the kitchen. So then that made me like, I'll just take over it.
Hmm.
I'm ready for the new challenges. So,
Wow. How did your parents take it when you're like, I want to run this?
I think they were happy.
Okay.
They were happy because between me and my 3 siblings,
Mhm.
I think they were happy. I feel like parents are just happy to know that one of the kids wants to take over, and I think based on Hmong culture too, like they always want generations to pass down to
Right.
that business, and
Uh-huh.
I think they were happy to hear that. It's one of those things where like nowadays, like my parents, their friends would be like, "Oh yeah, we heard you're taking over." I'm like, "Oh yep, I'm taking over."
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Not official yet, but
Hmm.
soon. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But at least you're overseeing and you're helping with the
Yes.
strategic thinking.
Yep.
Do you, because you do dental still,
Hmm.
assistant, right?
Yes.
Do you see yourself continuing doing that? Or you're gonna do the business full time, or you see yourself doing both?
I think right now I still see myself doing both.
Mm-hmm.
I um I was also in a situation where my doctor I used to work for, he reached out to me.
Mm-hmm.
So we just opened up his new practice just last year. So a part of me, I don't think I'm ready to leave dentistry yet. I
Yeah.
think I still want to continue. My goal right now is to we do have like, so an example would be like we do have like another manager there.
Yeah.
My goal is to, how can I do both but be able to operate behind the scene and not
Right.
have to physically be there all the time?
Mm-hmm.
And how can I find um a full staff that can do that,
Mm-hmm.
that can also wear my hat
Mm-hmm.
operating the business in person
Yeah.
while I do all the behind the scene with the PR and
Mm-hmm.
the strategic and the marketing
Yeah.
behind it.
And I'm glad you are at a point where you're realizing and coming to that mindset, because in this show, we talk a lot about brand messaging, where branding is just a subset of marketing. The way I see is
Mm-hmm.
that marketing are the tools like ad spend, Facebook boosts, social
Mm-hmm.
media content, Facebook, Instagram. Those are all marketing tools. Whereas branding, it's of course the way you look, the way you sound, but what I usually like to focus on the most, which is your messaging, your storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe that if you don't have a strong foundation of your story and you just jump straight to marketing, what's going to happen eventually is you're going to burn out. And when the time you notice, man, I feel like I'm just in transaction mode, I
Mm-hmm.
lost my story. And when you do go back, you're already like 5 years in, and you lost that momentum, that
Mm-hmm.
excitement. Whereas if you do that in the beginning, you're going to save yourself so much time. So as we talk, I want to dive into what that messaging
Yeah.
is for you.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, I just want to say, running or picking up a family-owned business is tough. So I commend you. I give you
Yeah.
props, and you should be proud, right? Because I
Mm-hmm.
know that a lot of family business owners, I have friends who don't want to take it over because
Mm-hmm.
they see their parents do that their whole life, and they're like, I don't want to do that. I want to go do something else. So
Yeah.
I commend you that you were like, you know what, I could do this, but still pursue your own career.
Mm-hmm.
That's great, right?
Yeah.
So going into Whole Golden Air Girls, what has changed since now and back then? What have you guys been doing differently? I know you guys just relocated,
Mm-hmm.
but aside from that, what has also changed and shifted?
I think the biggest thing that changed was shaping my parents' mindset from what they only know. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like when you work in a restaurant, Mo, I feel like they just eyeball everything.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I know what
so
you
like you
mean.
just do this, or I like it like this, and do that. So then, what we started slowly to incorporate, and then when I came back, we decided that we're gonna measure every single items,
Mm.
weigh out every portion, so that way it's easier. Like if we were to hire someone from outsider to come in, it's easier to train people. It's
Mm-hmm.
easier to like how can we streamline everything? How can we make it easier for this person so it's not like you had 10 so many hands in a pot trying to tell
Right.
you so many different things, and I think that creates confusion with that person and they don't know who to directly go to when they have a
Mm-hmm.
question. I think that's it has helped the business in that way. So that way, it helps with the servers too a lot because then they can know like, hey, this has the same amount as this other table that
Mm-hmm.
you order too.
Mm-hmm.
I think shifting gear to that and also changing ways how we market too.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I growing up in this business, we didn't really do marketing strategy wasn't really
Oh
there.
yeah.
Like we didn't have Facebook, we didn't have Instagram. It was just like the newspaper or words of mouth. And then with so many newer technology, new social media website, I think that's when I told my parents like, my vision is how can we be different from other restaurant too? How can we get the name out there? And I think it comes down to you have to pick and choose how you want to
Mm-hmm.
invest the business
Mm-hmm.
to get there.
What year did you guys found or start the restaurant again? You and your parents?
I was probably 2000.
2000?
Yeah, I want to
Okay,
say
okay.
2000.
2000. And
Mm-hmm.
that is crazy that you guys were one of the first restaurants in Lacrosse in
Mm-hmm.
2000. That's a long time. So that's almost like a built-in establishment
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
in that moment in time as well too. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's a very important piece, which I want to dabble more when it comes to the storytelling part. So I also know that in our Hmong community, we lack a lot in marketing and
Mm-hmm.
or branding or even visuals and whatnot. Um, what was that conversation like with your parents? Were they hesitant or was it like fairly easy
Mm-hmm.
when you kind of started introducing this new tech strategy of like let's market more, let's be more social?
I think they were open. I think it just comes down to I think the biggest part was just the financial part because when you
Mm,
invest, it is very, it can be pricey to invest
yeah.
in social marketing to get the name out there. I think that was really, they were open to it because I know my dad has always tried to look for other strategies like, oh, hey, do this coupon. Can you do this?
Yeah.
Can you do that? But then it's, and then and then I think they were, I'm just grateful that they were on board with it, that they were like, okay, I think we're ready for this. Cause it kind of comes back to the question where I've asked my parents, like, do we want to stay where we are and be
Mm,
comfortable and not
mm-hmm.
change, not evolve and improvise and be improve? Or do we want to do 10 times better than we were 20 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that kind of really shows that. And then I also think because my mom's so, the parents are so into Facebook now. So
Yeah.
I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
everything
They
is,
see it. They're
they
like,
know
okay.
everything. And then nowadays, everybody just looks on Facebook, Instagram. Newspapers aren't really there
Exactly.
anymore, or like poster board,
Yeah.
billboards. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And I see that you guys are your main premium platform, I call it, is on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys have some Instagram
Mm-hmm.
followers, but
Yeah.
your bread and butter is Facebook, which is good. And a little tidbit here as you're watching this, if you're a service-based business owner or you run a business, I recommend a Facebook page, which you have, because no one's ever going to find your business. No one's going to find your website. No one ever just goes to Google and say, I'm home golden egg rolls. They're not going to do that. They're going to
Mm-hmm.
first see a Facebook post from a friend and they're gonna go, oh, what's this? They click it. And then guess what? They see your landing page. So your Facebook is basically your digital business card. But I believe without a Facebook, people are not really gonna like discover you unless they're on Instagram. But knowing your audience, a lot of your people are on Facebook. So I'm really glad you guys have that. And going to, talking about the marketing piece is that um how you talk about money, right? Investing back into your business is
Mm-hmm.
really huge. And I see you taking that step, especially the relocation, the website that's coming up. And I want to touch quickly on that is because when I first started my business, I never wanted to spend money on my own business because my mom and parents were
Yeah.
always like, save money,
Uh-huh.
save money.
Yeah.
So for the first year or the first year and a half, I never spent money on my own business. I just saved it and I just did a lot of like personal outreach. So what we call it's called guerrilla marketing, where we just do print stuff, the old style of advertising.
Mhm.
And then year three, I'm like, I need to put money into my business. I didn't really understand that until like, oh, I need to like buy marketing ads. I need to hire someone to help me with like email newsletters. I need to hire my team here for more promo stuff.
Mhm.
So a quick quote here too. My friend, he likes to gamble. He said, because I'm not a gambler, so I turn and go
Uh-huh.
to the casino. I bring like a little bit of dollars. He goes, Bert, scare money ain't make no money. Meaning, if you go gamble, you gotta play big money to win big. Same thing with the business. If you're scared to invest into your business, you're not gonna make anything. So what I end up doing, even though I don't play big in casinos, I play big in my business. Like I put
Mhm.
money back. So I'm glad you're taking that step, and that your parents are seeing that. Because I know that's a big milestone there too.
Yeah, it's huge because it's like, you know, when you go to a lot of like Asian restaurant and you're like, how can we be different?
Right.
You know, and it's I want to grow. I don't want to be stuck. And then I feel like if I'm stuck 20 years and do the same thing over, I don't think I'm gonna find the passion, the fun in it. Because then
Mm-hmm.
it's the same repetition all day, every
Mm-hmm.
day. And then it's and one is like, how can we attract the younger generation to come in and work because you know in restaurant it's such a high turnover
Yeah,
rate
it is.
and then I mean which is I find it to be the norm because it's not like a forever job. It's just like a to get you by in high school and
Mm-hmm.
college and things like that. But I'm glad that they really invest. I would truly believe that you really have to invest in your
Mm-hmm.
business in order to get to where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
I know that financial can be a situation thing, but it's gonna pay off. It's
Yeah.
gonna pay off
And it's,
after.
it's scary at first, right? Seeing
Yes.
that big
Yeah.
number go, and you're like, am I ever gonna see it again? That's why running a business takes patience and time.
Yes.
And you're also a dental assistant. So that's
Mhm.
even crazy that you're running two jobs. But if you do it with passion and love, then you can really
Mhm.
set yourself up for success where the business runs by its own and you continue, do your dental stuff. And even
Yes.
one day have your own practice. Is that part of it?
Oh no,
No.
I think
Okay.
I think I'm just good with just dental assisting.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
Three things that I did see come through from your notes here is that how do you stand out from your competitors? Because he has been here since 2000.
Mhm.
Meaning, what does that story even look like? Secondly, it's I think you also mentioned how do you also help the team internally? How do you help foster that growth, like you mentioned earlier, like your
Mhm.
team members? How do you also give the opportunities? And third is how do you guys use branding to show up online consistently or even differently from your competitors too?
Mhm.
So let's dive into the first one.
Okay.
So if we were to talk about Hmong golden egg rolls, um, what what are some things that you will want the viewers or even people in lacrosse matches to know about Hmong golden egg rolls, and even if your story parents background too?
Um, Everything is homemade.
Mm-hmm.
You won't be able to find our sauces.
Oh,
So
okay.
everything is homemade, made from scratch. I think it's fun sharing with others that we are there at 6 a.m. prepping. So we make our egg rolls freshly
Day
every
of?
single day.
Wow.
Everything's made on the day off. Everything is fried on the day off when you order. I think that's a huge part where um, like this year I had to train my thought and say it's okay we run out because it's made freshly.
Mhm.
And it is, if you put it that way, it's almost like saying yes, it is limited supplies because we add the numbers, put it together. So we make about, you could say 400 egos per day, hoping that that could last from opening till closing.
Mhm.
Um, I think that plays a huge part because now a lot of people are looking for like fresh homemade food from like
Mhm.
um, a family owned business. So I think that's the fun fact part about Mom's Golden Egg Rolls is um, that we do have people, you know, sometimes I'm there at like 7 a.m. just rolling egg rolls.
Yeah.
So I'm just making sure that everything is good quality, making quantity. Um, I do want to I want to rave our front of the house, our servers, because without them, we would not also be where we are today. Because I feel like when we work in the kitchen, we're just behind the scene,
Mm-hmm.
behind the curtains. Nobody, customers walk in, they don't see the kitchen, the cooks and the line prep and all that. So
Mm-hmm.
I do really want to rave that our front of the house servers, they their work goes unnoticed. So they
Mm-hmm.
do. I think that's a huge part because kind of like when you're saying branding, it's almost like that's how you say hello to you. The first thing you greet other people is how they
Mm-hmm.
recognize you.
Yeah. So when you talk about the year-long history of you guys being the first Hmong restaurant in Lacrosse, what's, if you can think of it, what's one thing that you guys, either a promise or a saying that you guys have kept consistently throughout the years to today?
Um, we, I say we kept all of our ingredients
Mm-hmm.
consistent throughout those 20 years
Mm-hmm.
since we started. So it's the same product too. Um, yeah, I think the biggest part would be the ingredients.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Too.
have a question too.
Uh-huh.
For, because when it comes to Hmong community, um, some Hmong business owners, they're very prideful in their Hmong culture and they tap into that a lot. Or some people are like, no, I don't want people to, I want them to know we're Hmong, but I don't really want to leverage it. Where are you in that spectrum?
Um, I think I want to say the second part where I want to say where we are leveraging it, making changes in that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one thing I've seen growing in the business with Hmong parents too is how to do a mind switch from that. I think a lot of times the hardest part is it's hard for us, for the generation, for my parents example and my aunt and uncle, is gaining that trust to
Mm-hmm.
be open-minded, to kind of learn to let go and let
Mm-hmm.
new things come and try. And I just always been one believer, like if one door closes, it's okay. There's so many other ways to
Mm-hmm.
do about it too, and
Mm-hmm.
go around it
Mm-hmm.
than having to be very like close knit and just keep it to yourself and
Yeah.
not being open to the community.
Yeah, yeah, I like that too. So the question I asked, just so I guess in case the viewers didn't catch it, was one, some business owners lean into the Hmong culture, or two, they don't want to lean too much into it, but they just want people to know that they're Hmong.
Yes.
From what my understanding and from my experience of working with clients is, and maybe we explore this together, is I think
Mm-hmm.
you guys go all in on the Hmong, but you Americanize it, meaning because psychologically, us consumers as human people, we
Mm-hmm.
want to feel like a sense of belonging. So
Yes.
when we
Yeah.
leave with culture,
Mm-hmm.
Mika people like Americans, whites, black, Latinos, they love culture. Like when we think about, we have a Latina fest here on Robert
Mm-hmm.
Street, we all go there because it's all about the culture, but they just
Mm-hmm.
Americanize it. So if you're ever debating, do we want to tap into the Hmong culture, we just want to be there, I think you tap it in because the most successful brands like Coca-Cola, Nike, they tap into culture so
Mm-hmm.
much. That's why their campaigns work, right? So if we, for example, tap into the Hmong culture, but not just the Hmong culture, your parents' culture.
Mm-hmm.
There, we gotta tap into that foundation. 'Cause you tap into Hmong culture,
Yeah.
everyone's the same. But if you
Yep.
tap into your parents' story, how they came here, what they did in their Hmong, people love that. We're sentimental, we're emotional people. We're like, oh my
Yes.
god,
Oh
this
yeah.
restaurant has history.
Uh-huh.
They're not just a Hmong restaurant. They're like Hmong, but founded by these two Hmong people. I want to go here. I'm gonna go in tear. I'm gonna cry. We
Mm-hmm.
love doing that. You think yourself when you go to a store, we love going to movies. We love going to museums where we like see culture and stuff. So I want you to share that insight.
Mm-hmm. I think, like I think the biggest is we still keep a lot of our, I think that's the one where my parents want to tell the story is
Mm-hmm.
what is Hmong food? What is, like Hmong, we're so blended with so many cultures like Thai, Vietnamese, and Laotian food. And then that's what we serve at Mos Conigos too. Like it's a blended culture. You're not just gonna find like Hmong food, you're gonna find like Thai cuisine and Vietnamese because we
Mm-hmm.
all share the same type of
Really.
food, the same taste buds and the same ingredients. And like it's kind of cool to know that to still keep like papaya.
Yeah.
You gotta keep it authentic. You
Yeah.
can't change it. You can't Americanize it. I think that's the one thing where I have seen like some of our customer like Jamaican, like some people they know how to eat it. They
Yeah.
love it. They love the spice and that fermented flavor. So I think that's it's good to still keep it because really you just can't improvise the papaya, the pho, or like the chicken like sticky rice.
Yeah.
I think it's nice to share that. Hey, we actually, we don't use utensil. We use it's almost like a finger food. Like when I look at it too, I think, and then that's the one thing where I think my parents we want to keep it, not try to Americanize it so much, because then I feel like you lose that touch,
Right.
and then you lose that culture, and you lose where, what you said, self belonging, because that's
Yeah.
all we ever known growing up.
Right. And I'm glad you brought that up. So I want to bring us to transition to talk about brand messaging because I want us to explore this story of your parents and just see where it takes us, right? To also give you some inspiration. But before we do that, I see that you brought some goodies.
I did.
Let's show them a little bit.
Okay.
So show what it is, and then we're diving into the storytelling part. What do you have here for us?
I have. So I wanted to bring our.
Okay. I'll hold it. Feel free to sit back down and I'll hold it. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna grab it.
Hey.
So this is Lacrosse, my hometown, they do like the best of Lacrosse. So they do like all types of restaurants, from like restaurant to like the best salon, the bar, the community insight, where you can name anything you do in Lacrosse.
Yeah.
So I just want to share this. We just won 2016 for Best of Lacrosse for Best Asian Cuisine. So for
Wow.
the last 10 years, we have been winning every year. So
Wow,
that's
that is
a huge thing.
crazy.
I think it's just very meaningful that we're being recognized by the community and knowing who we are.
Yeah. If you're in Lacrosse, check out Hmong Golden Egg Roll. They've been winning. I was hoping we got some egg rolls today too. But when we go to Lacrosse, I'm gonna check it out, Allie, because this is great. So thank you for bringing this and sharing Minnesota folks. I know that there's a lot of Hmong families in Lacrosse as well too. Check them out, okay? And what else do you have for us here?
I just want to showcase so kind of like what we were talking about, like investing in the business. This is it's a couple years old. This is our menu that we worked on with our, we always laugh about that. They're real pictures. They're not AI or
That's good. I was
Google
gonna say
stock
that.
photos.
Okay.
So
Yes.
some kind of cool props. And then those little Hmong heart shape, we try to incorporate like the Hmong symbols and the culture on there too, letting our customers know that these are the most popular items that the people love.
Did you guys invest in a design agency or a freelancer individual?
We invested in a photographer.
Oh.
My fiance he designed this for us. He's
Awesome.
also he's a graphic designer.
Is he
So
here? Is he?
he was here earlier.
Okay. I was gonna say that's
yeah.
awesome.
So
Okay.
he kind of helped. It's kind of nice to know, like when you use social network, who friends are kind of nice to have them help us.
Yeah.
So he helped us make this menu because he works in marketing too. So
yeah, I'm also a graphic designer myself, and I appreciate the layout. For any business that has food, I love pictures, and I'm glad that you guys didn't leverage AI because AI posters right now are like in, but it's not in. I think if you're a business that uses AI flyers, I'm like, don't be one of those businesses that do that. Like hire somebody or just use Canvas at least.
Yes.
But this looks really good. I really can see that you guys, especially you with a vision to show your parents, like, 'cause I'm sure this looks different from 10 years ago.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
from how they had it. So
Yeah.
I'm sure your parents are happy to turn out and even your guests and customers too.
Yes.
Cool. What else did you bring?
I brought this is so we're looking into merch. We are looking to merch. So then it's not on live yet, but this is a special preview.
Okay, you're launching it here. Let's go. Okay, what does it say?
We're thinking about merch, tote bags with like our menus on our tote bags here, like the Hmong sausage, sticky rice, chicken leg, and egg rolls. And then I'm sure people have seen this one where it's like a thank you bag, grocery bag.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
this
like
is
the Foods one.
the one thing we wanted to
Yes,
try
what the
this
hell?
out.
Okay.
And then I also brought this is exclusively for our server.
Yes, I saw that on social media.
This is their t-shirt when they come in and they work.
We eat here again.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is our we just rebranded
Yeah.
before we moved to our new location this year. So
Okay.
this is our new logo.
That was good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh, sure.
Yes. Here we go. Check this out. New merch coming out.
Yeah.
You guys heard it here
Lots of
first.
new merch
From Hmong
coming.
Golden Egg Rolls. Okay. I really like this. It's very nostalgic of the Foods bag. I don't know if they have that kind of light anymore. Okay. Ali, let's transition to brand messaging. I'm just gonna use my laptop. I was gonna ask you a question. We're just gonna like brainstorm, kind of throw ideas back and forth. But let's bring this back. Who could you help bring this back? Shane. Thank you. All right. All right. So Ali, earlier I mentioned I want to explore this story because I know that you're also redoing your website, but I think it's also a good opportunity to just kind of hear the words that you will want to show up or just share and then take this back as inspiration and see where it takes you. Because I think earlier to what I mentioned about culture, sometimes when it comes to branding, I like to say that the goal is not to say everything. The goal is to create curiosity and generate a conversation. So you say just enough for them to be like, what does that mean? Oh, I scroll and I click and I learn more. But sometimes when it comes to branding, if you don't have like something stable to hold it, people are going to be like, what are you even talking about? So I think the stable to your branding is your parents' story. And then you can involve home culture and traditions, and then your recipes come because really it all starts from your parents, right? So if you could, imagine your parents, like what would be some words that you think they would interpret what is Hmong food, or even in your own words too. Feel free to just share. I'm just gonna type in notes.
I think I say unity. Very family oriented. Hospitality. This is
Yeah. Let me rephrase the question for this way then. When you were a kid growing up, I'm sure you ate with your parents in the restaurant. What was that like young Ali thoughts or that remembrance of like emotions that describes those moments growing up seeing the restaurant and the food?
I was very, I would say joyful, happy. Trying to think of other words.
It doesn't have to be a word. It could be like a phrase or a sentence too.
I think growth.
Growth?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think growth. I think growth and the strength.
Strength? Okay.
I say strength.
How would you describe your food that you serve?
Authentic.
Okay.
Flavorful.
Authentic. I'm gonna. Any words from your clients or your customers?
The best.
The best. Yeah, I like that. Okay. And you say authentic.
They love the spices.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna pause it for a second. When it comes to branding, there's multiple like Lego pieces, but the way I like to teach it is there's 6 things, which is your service, like what is it that you actually do. Then there's your purpose of you doing it, your brand personality, your offer. I mean, like, what is it that you offer is different from what you do, and then the target audience, like who is your people and what are the problem. So if you can answer when it comes to just the service, what is it that you want Hmong Golden Egg Rolls to do for your customers?
I think the biggest thing is sharing the hospitality. because that's a huge thing in our culture. Like when you come, you are always welcome and greeted. You are always being served with water right away, and going above and beyond for the customers.
Okay. So I know that right now you are working on your website, but I'm just gonna pull up, just gonna give us some
Okay.
visual inspirations, right? So anytime I look at a business, and I want you to see this too when you observe your own or someone else's, is what I should get right away is what is it that you do? A lot of time restaurants or business owners, they don't really tell us what they do. They just kind of like show us what they have done. Like
Okay.
maybe they should show foods and whatnot. But the consumer, we should want to know. A really good one is when you tell them exactly what you do. So for example, right, if I was to come to your website, right, and I want to know what you do, you could say something like just using the words here, we have it as inspiration, sharing the hospitality, or sharing our hospitality so you can enjoy the best flavors and spices through our I'm just gonna say this, it doesn't have to be this, but just kind of give us this like tangible example, Hmong dishes, right? So if I come into your website and I see right away that says sharing our hospitality so you can enjoy the best flavors and spices through our Hmong dishes. Me, I'm like, oh, that sounds good. I'm gonna scroll. I scroll, I see image, but then that's how you tell your brand story. Because without this one, I'm just gonna assume you're just another restaurant that just has beautiful images. That's good, but then that's not you telling your story. You're just trying to look pretty for the people, but you want them to invest in the story, right? So I want to pause here to see if there's any inspirational thoughts that comes to mind as you kind of heard me write that.
Could you ask the question once
Yeah.
more?
So as we kind of read through this survey statement, how we say sharing our hospitality so you can enjoy the best flavors and spices through Hmong dishes. Hearing that, is there something else that comes to mind where you're like, no, this is also what we do when you come into our door. We serve this and that. Because I know that you also mentioned how you guys want to educate people that your food is not Chinese food.
Yeah.
It's Hmong, Thai,
Yes.
Vietnamese and stuff, right? So how do you also envision that being communicated?
I think I just have to say I think it comes with educating who we are, who the Hmong people are, and knowing that there are more than so many different types of the Asian culture there that it's so similar, but then we each have our own flavors into it. I think I want if I were to come to my website, I want to know I like the full service, 100% full service, where it's not like computer kiosks or QR codes. I think we give our 100% full service to give them that feel of the hospitality that we go above and beyond in just serving.
I also know that in the process of talking, you also mentioned that when people ask you what is it that you do, what do you remember what you usually say? Or even now, what do you do? How would you usually answer that?
I guess, I mean, if they want to know what I do behind the scene,
or more so just
more,
Mongolian egg rolls.
just Mongolian egg rolls.
Yeah.
I say just sharing the food that we sharing the different types of food for our people that are open to trying.
Okay. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to connect the dots from your thinking. So let's take a step back and then go back to your parents. And I'll show you how this is all connected in the video.
Okay.
So when it comes to your parents, how would you describe them? Only in the face of like running the business and seeing the hard work, how would you describe them through that way?
I would say Lots of dedication, lots of sacrifice.
Mm. What kind of sacrifices?
Um, Giving, let's say sacrifice, giving up. You gotta give up a lot of family events.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A lot of family events. um, um, I think the biggest part is making sure that their business is going well
Mm-hmm.
on a daily basis. I
Mhm.
think that's when. Um, Sorry, this is.
No, no, you're good. And sometimes brainstorming takes a bit too.
Yeah.
Were your parents chefs before they started? What were they?
No, they were not. So my dad is he's a chemist. He worked at a city brewing plant,
Mm,
so he worked there. My mom was, I'm not quite sure what she did, but she worked for a train company.
okay,
So they both had two jobs while operating the business too.
got it. So they were hustling.
Yeah.
Okay, had jobs and running business.
I think I want to add what kind of made me thought too is survival.
Survival.
Yeah.
For your parents, what made them like decide to do a agro business outside out of anything else? Why was it that?
That is a good question. I I honestly don't. I don't think I've ever asked them this question. Like,
Okay.
I think when they start out with the aunt and uncle, like my mom's brother and sisters, I think they just wanted to test the water.
Okay.
And then I think after um so many years into it, I think that's when they started seeing like, oh, it's actually going really well. It's I think that's how they just end up sticking to it
Mm-hmm.
because it was going
It's
well with
almost
them.
as if like I keep going back to this word belonging because
Yeah.
Hmong people we're a diasporatic or diaspora a group of
Mm-hmm.
community where we don't have a land belong anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So when we try to do something, so we at least have a community, a sense of belong, which is like the
Yeah.
restaurant. Because you maybe you like said the parents did it, the family did it. Let's do it together, with a support system, and it just ends up working. I think that's a really good question that I think you should ask your parents is why did they start a restaurant business, but you go even deeper and say why an agro business, or was it just the name that they kind of came up with,
Right.
right? Right. Okay. So Allie, I'm gonna put something together,
Okay.
and I'm gonna read it to you, so you can kind of start seeing why brand messaging is important, and this is how you differentiate yourself from the other Hmong business restaurants around your area. Is we tap into your parents' story, and then we grow that into the American day of like what are Hmong dishes, what are some dishes that we serve, right? So if I imagine this, right, I can see something like I'm just gonna make this writing up, but I want us to think a picture of on the website. Let's say that we see this right away on the top, and we have this or like this big headline on top here. Replacing that, for example, we see sharing hospitality so you can enjoy the best flavors and spices through our home dishes. And then this is where we dive into the emotional storytelling where it all started from your parents' name being a chemist and mom being a whatever her I'm just gonna say train manager, whatever her position is, right? And then because so basically you briefly telling your story, survival and belonging, sprouted home golden egg rolls. And then you can even go so you can even also re-add this. Too. Okay, so I'm gonna read this to you. So when it comes to brand messaging, what makes it different is as you scroll, the grounding of Hmong Ericos is it all started from my parents being a chemist and my mom being a train manager because of survival and belonging sprouted, which sprouted in Hmong golden egg rolls. That is why we are dedicated to sharing our hospitality so you can enjoy the best flavors and spices through our Hmong dishes or through our flavorful dishes. So that way, as the consumer,
Mm-hmm.
you're walking me through who you guys are, your journey, and why you guys are so important. And then it's also important to call out the year you guys are founded because you guys are a staple.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that needs to be also celebrated more.
Okay.
And I don't know a lot of business
Yeah.
owners can do that. I want to pause here and see what you're
Mm-hmm.
thinking.
Um, no, I like it. I like that you revert to when we opened 2000 that we should celebrate more because I think that's where we lack in giving ourselves the credit and giving ourselves the moment just to really like sink in and really like see how far we come and just really celebrate all these small milestones
Mm-hmm.
rather than just keep focusing on running the business sometimes. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's important. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, because I also think that you know, because when it comes to in advertising,
mm-hmm.
during my time in advertising, when I did like branding design campaigns for Target or Walmart, we never really focus on like the product or the transaction.
Mm-hmm.
We focus a story around the product. Like if we did a
Okay.
cereal launch,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't talk about how great the cereal was. We talk about how great families love the cereal
Mm-hmm.
and how great families enjoy breakfast with the kids with a bowl of Cheerios.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's how we say it. So in this case for home golden egg rolls, we surround this with your parents' story where you get started,
Mm-hmm.
meaning we invite you to have a taste of my family's upbringing with our flavorful stories, and it all started from this.
Mm-hmm.
So that way now you're giving me an experience instead of just saying, come in, we serve you food, we serve you dishes. I feel like anyone can say that, but if you tie that all the time back to your parents' story
Mm-hmm.
and this is who we are, I think people are gonna like resonate with that a lot more and remember you more. Because that's very, very something where like it's different from what everyone else is saying too.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It just made me thought about this because we did have this on our website. We did kind of talk about a lot of these food reminds us of our moms, our mothers, the way she cooks with love and dedication. I think that brings a lot of memories because I just feel like no matter where you live or how far you've gone, I think you just crave for your mom's her dishes, and then because then her food always meant giving you the hospitality that you've always had or always wanted to kind of come back to that first part with your mom.
Yeah, no, and
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that because there's also something powerful in that, right?
Mhm.
Because if I'm scrolling through your website, right? Because again, to be different, to change, you guys are just not a restaurant. Create an experience, right? And that's through brand storytelling. You can even say something like, it could be anybody. We understand we're all busy people. But we also crave our mother's cooking. We want our guests to experience our mother's cooking. Come in for a dish, and then you have like pictures of your dishes. That is very enticing, and that could even let people know, oh wow, I kind of want to try this, Hmong mother's dish or this Asian mother's dish, right? Because you're saying we know you're busy. Wherever you go, you live, you crave your mother's dishes. We acknowledge that. I want you to experience my mother's dishes. Come get like an egg roll or a pho dish from here. That way, I'm like, okay, that's cool. They acknowledge me, even though I'm not home. I do want to go now because it's like an emotional piece to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that was very, because that's the one thing. After hearing your insight, it kind of made me remember what we had on our website. Because I think because when I look back, I think I want people, our consumers to know that, when we do Hmong events, it's always the mothers that cooks.
Yeah.
We go to funerals, it's always the mothers that cooks, and I think that's where you just want. I really want our consumer or myself to know, like, I eat this because my mom always cooks it, or like when you come home, these are the food that they only make it on special days, It's not just, regular food you eat every day, but like if it's your birthday, they make it. I think that, yeah.
So,
Like,
because I want to transition us to the next challenge, which is how do you continue inspiring your team members and then how to show up on social media. So before I wrap up here, I want to say, I think I encourage you to focus your story. 'Cause it needs a foundation, right? From your mom and dad, asking the questions, why did you start this? What was cooking like? And whatever you discover from that, turn that into brand languages, meaning if it's a
okay.
phrase, stuff,
Mm-hmm.
pattern that on your website. Because that the
Okay.
more customized it is, like use that. And also don't get flashy with your words.
Mm-hmm.
Use the actual words that you would say. Like literally you said to me, use that. Don't
Okay.
use like flashy words where people don't understand,
Mm-hmm.
but use plain language because
Mm-hmm.
that's the average person will understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So again, I'll send this to you.
Okay.
So you have focus on your parents, focus, or ask them this. I think this is a good start. Focus on parents. And then anything else you can dabble on, right? And you can Americanize
Mm-hmm.
it to adapt to the culture, modern day. But again, we all love culture and stuff.
Okay.
And then transitioning this into the teams, because if you do this hard work, this homework, now when it comes to teams, a lot of people work with Hmong Golden Arrows because of you. I'm assuming it's because of you and your team. So that's it. If you have a good story, I'm like, I want to work for this.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Chili's and I don't know, do you guys have Chili's?
No, we
Okay,
don't.
so Chili's like a commercial chain,
Yeah.
or let's just say Fridays
Okay.
or TGI, I think that's Fridays, like big
Uh-huh.
commercial chains. I want to work there because I want to get paid. I don't really care about the mission. They're not very
Yeah.
family oriented. But if I
Uh-huh.
hear that at Hmong Golden Air Girls, we are bringing our mother's cookings and our dad's cookings to give you flavor experience, I'm like, I want to be a part of that experience.
Mm-hmm.
So once you have this story written down, that's how you're gonna keep motivating your inner teammates.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, we're here not just to work, but you're here also to carry the legacy that we're trying to tell our story,
Mm-hmm.
and you can be a part of the experience as well too.
Um, I think I have to give myself credit for this. My team has stayed with us for many years. Some people stay, some are just college students, and then they leave. But I've been giving a lot of feedback from them. I want to say I try to create a healthy environment. So when I look at what's different from a corporate business to a family-owned business is you get to have that special relationship where you can work one-on-one with each individual person. I think the reflecting on us, how we are managers, how we are business owners too. How can we be better as owners, be better managers, and how can we support the team so that they enjoy working here, they enjoy being there because of us. Having to share working different styles to kind of grow some leadership skills, mentoring, or like a skill set, how to work with customer service, because how to go above and beyond in the service industry. I think the biggest part is how do we show up? We have to show up. That's the one thing where it's easy to be in a family-owned business. It's easy to come and go as you please, but then I think at the end of the day, you have to show up. I think just being present.
And as you're sharing that, right,
Mm-hmm.
those exact words, you might not remember now, but when you watch the episode, try to use those words. I think when you create that new a website, have a different section that's dedicated just for new hires or employees. And if you say something like this, right, because this is very personable, very family oriented, right? It should be the same as well too when it comes to your team. So maybe when you have this branding message, it says something like you just making this up, maybe a little corny, but sometimes it works. So you belong, and your I don't know, growth matters here at Hmong Golden Egg Rolls. That's it. Simple as that.
Mhm.
Someone reading this, they're gonna think, okay, Hmong Golden Egg Rolls is not like a commercial chain. They're
Mhm.
actually thinking about me. You belong and your growth matters here at Hmong Golden Egg Rolls.
Mhm.
Because this tone starts to sound close to up here. No matter where you go or live, you crave your mother's cookies. It sounds so personable
Mhm.
because your brand's very personable. It makes employees want to stay, and that's sometimes the answer. It's
Mhm.
not as, of course, it's all about how you lead and stuff, but people never know that until they work with you. But if I'm starting over
Yeah.
applying, who's gonna do all the talking? It's your landing page. So they
Mhm.
need to sound very human like this and plain language so that they understand right away too. So I think that's the best way to get people in who want to join. And then to really motivate them is this, but also the rest of the work is on you as well too. And that's like an
Okay.
internal system thing.
Uh-huh.
Cause on
No,
any thoughts on this?
no, I like it a lot. I think that's important because we all worked in companies and come back, and then I think it's important. I like that idea because then it shows that you you matter too. You
Mhm.
belong. We don't just hire and then you're just in a little corner.
Yeah, exactly. And
So
also, this
yeah.
is what's gonna make you different from other restaurants because
Yeah.
I'm sure they want the same thing, but they don't know how to do it. But if you're the first one to do it, then they're
Uh-huh.
gonna like, oh man, she's doing something right over there. Maybe we should
Uh-huh.
say this too, right?
Yeah.
And again, branding is all about communicating just enough to create
Mhm.
curiosity.
Uh-huh.
And I will share this one insight too before we jump to this last thing
Okay.
is that as you work on the new website and as you capture your parents' stories and you kind of put that into like a brand messaging, it's okay to have repeated words. Meaning, I'm seeing the word belong. That way we talk. I'm hearing the word dedication, hospitality. Like
Mhm.
leverage those words and populate it somewhere around the landing page as much as you can. Meaning,
Okay.
it could be as simple as these are our
Mhm.
best hospitality dishes, right? And then that way those becomes your search words, like your keywords for
Mhm.
SEO, right?
Okay.
So those will be your important words. So you focus on the stories and just see the words that are used more than once.
Mhm.
Take those and maximize on those too.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So I'm gonna quickly say this is. So I think you should come up. Oh, I think I encourage you to try to work on a service statement, which is, was it that Hmong Golden Egg Rolls do? Okay. Or it doesn't have to capture everything. It doesn't have
Okay.
to include egg rolls. It doesn't have to do that.
Uh-huh.
Just tell me what you do. Meaning, we are creating a hospitality space so you can enjoy the best flavors and spices, and that's it. That's what you do. I come to your landing page, and then I see, oh, you sell pho, you do pad thai,
Mhm.
whatever it is you do, right? And so have this, and then this is gonna help inspire you to kind of come up with more like other future brand writing.
Okay.
I want to pause this to see if there's any questions on that.
Yeah. Um no, I think I see the idea that you're
Yeah.
coming. No, I do no, I do like it. I
Hmm.
think it's a good fit cuz then again, like what you said, branding is to share a little bit of be curious, but then how to tell a story in a very, very minimal
Yeah. Hmm.
way.
And take this as
And
inspiration,
yeah.
and just keep in mind like we don't have to communicate everything because
Mhm.
you're gonna let the landing page do the rest of the talking
Mhm.
anyways, because we're gonna see a whole roster of menus, but the service should just kind of like get us introduced to the door,
Mhm.
and then we can explore the rest on ourselves.
Okay.
Okay. And then lastly, for social media, I think you guys are showing up nicely social media. I'm gonna pull up here quickly.
Sure.
Your Facebook page, again, I mentioned earlier, it's your bread and butter. I'm gonna cause out bread and butter right here. And also your Instagram. I think you guys are showing up. I see the personality and the liveliness here. I would say that one thing that I like to do is when I teach my clients is I teach them the AEC strategy. Okay. So what um A stands for attract, E stands for educate, and then C stands for connect. Okay. Yes, you guys are just some. It could also be like you guys are a restaurant business.
Mhm.
Do we need this? I think yes, because you guys are now just you guys are building a brand and a
Mhm.
legacy, right? So when I say attract, you want to create content that are attracting people to your restaurant.
Mhm.
Maybe that's like buy one get one or 20% off. That's when you can
Mhm.
talk about your discounts. When it comes to educate, this is where you can educate people on the difference between Hmong food, Vietnamese food,
Mhm.
Chinese food. Like you just educate people,
Mhm.
and then for C connect, this is where you kind of story tell, where you create posts that tell stories about how you founded Hmong Golden Egg Rolls, how you guys became a stable in 2000, and also tell your parents' story. So
Mhm.
these three are the formulas I tell all my clients. Like, if you follow this for 1 month, this is how you build a brand.
Okay.
Because if you just post like photos or uh, um like National Egg Day, that's good. But then you just
Uh-huh.
become that generic restaurant. What you stand out is just maybe for 1 week you only post like I don't know 2 times a week,
Mhm.
and you just focus. Let's say this week, let's just do 2 posts on attraction, meaning buy one get one free, or come here and bring a friend. And next week we do 2 posts about educating people what the difference between this food and this food.
Mhm.
And the next week I talk about my parents' story and my story. That
Mhm.
way, now when I see it online, I'm like, wow, I'm home golden air girls. Like I immerse into this story and the experience. I want to pause here to see if there's any questions on that.
No, I really like the meaning behind AEC. Because that is the one thing where our goal is to really work on that, how to attract customer or new faces. How do we attract that, and how can we do more to the community and within the business itself
Yeah.
too? So yeah.
And I want to share quickly too that this is also a
Mhm.
way for you and your team to like not sit there and be like, what do we talk about for next week? Because that happens a lot,
Right.
right? We're like,
Yeah.
we don't know what we want to do. Or if you have too many posts about attraction,
Mhm.
then you start losing the personality from it. Oh, now we got to do some posts
Mhm.
about like storytelling now, right? So this also grounds you and be like, hey, Bert, you're my social media person. Let's do this week on attract, next week educate, the next week's connect. As a social media manager myself, I'd be like,
Mhm.
that makes my job easier because I now know what to talk about
Uh
instead
huh.
of just sitting here and assuming we should do this, this, and this. But really, if I follow this, then it diversifies the way you
Okay.
show up online.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Again, like it comes. I guess my only question: like, how often should you be posting?
Mhm.
Like I always try to look at where like I don't want to post too much because then some people are like, oh, they're always constantly posting, posting,
Yeah,
posting. So I
good question. So I would say post as much. The more, the better.
okay,
So it does not matter how much often you
okay,
post, but you can also study your audience's algorithm.
uh
But if
huh,
you don't have enough data, I would say 2 times a week is fine.
okay,
And don't exhaust yourself. Don't make it a chore. Have fun
yeah,
with it too. I
okay,
say once a day, but then 2 times a week. That's it.
mhm,
Or even once a week if you're really busy.
mhm,
But I've seen people who do it every day, and that's how they get more exposure. But I think I recommend doing this for 1 month, because if you do less than a month, you might not see any results. So
okay,
1 or 2 months,
yeah,
test this out. 1 2 times a week,
uh huh.
just kind of see how it
Okay,
goes.
so kind of start slow
Yeah,
first,
start
and
slow
then
first.
okay,
Exactly.
okay. Well, that's good.
Ali, was there anything that we didn't capture or any confusions that you want clarity on?
Um, mm, not that I can think of. I feel like we capture a lot of good, a little bit of the story. I think we captured a little bit of that. No, I feel like it's going, yeah, pretty
Yeah.
good. Everything's pretty covered. So yeah.
Yeah, and I appreciate you coming here to share also about
Yeah.
your family story, especially your
Uh
parents,
huh.
and your own personal story. Ali, share with the rest of the world, where can we find you and Home Golden Egg Rolls?
You guys can find us at our new location. We are open Monday through Saturday, 11 until 8 p.m.
Okay.
And then we do offer catering too, and wedding caterings
You heard
events
that. They
too.
do
Yeah.
catering and they've been winning the awards. So check them out. You can check them out on Facebook at Home Golden Egg Rolls as well, right here. Beautiful shots of the photos, by the
Yeah.
way, and also on Instagram.
Yeah.
So with
Thank
that,
you.
again, Ali, thank you so much for coming on and telling us your brand story and also the message behind Home Golden Egg Rolls and the
Hmm.
food you get served. So thank you
Thank
for being here.
you. All right.
Yep. Good.